Okay, so I've just got home from work full time this week, which is a bit of a shock, I have to say, and I'm cooking dinner, but I thought I would share this with you now. So just everything's just sort of here in front of me, but we're going to go into, oh, I've saved it, I think. No, I've saved the wrong one. So I'm just going to click out of this. I'm going to cancel that. And I'm going to go into my week. The great thing about this, start cooking. So garlic cloves. So I have actually got the garlic cloves ready. They're going in. 2 sprigs of fresh parsley, leaves only. That's going in. 150 grams of brown onion. Now it's possibly a little bit more than that, but we're all good here with a bit of onion, so that's okay. All right, my lid on. A little bit closer. All right, so 3 seconds, speed 6. Now, 3 seconds. Show you what it's done. How long would it take you to chop your own garlic or onion or put your garlic through a garlic press? I love that bit. So good. No garlic press to fix up either. All right, clean. I hate those garlic presses. Okay, 20 grams, a little bit over, of olive oil. Half a teaspoon of ground turmeric. Turmeric is so good for you, for inflammation, for joints, just generally an all-round good guy. But you must have it with black pepper. And they haven't asked me for that yet, but I had it here somewhere. Oh, what I've done with my black pepper. Here it is. I think it asks for it later. I'm going to put it in now with my turmeric. Otherwise, the active component, the curcumin, is not activated. 1 teaspoon of dried marjoram. I don't have marjoram. I've got oregano, which I actually bought from the source on Glenferrie Road. Just took my jar up, filled it up from there. Zero waste. Love it. I don't have sumac. 40 grams of tomato paste. I have a spoon here. See, my scales are set. Make sure they're on 0. And I'm going to guesstimate here. Oh, there we go, 43. Not bad. Insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl lid. Okie dokie. So 2 minutes, 120 degrees. All I have to do is turn it up to speed 2. So that's going there. Now, on my other one over here, I'll just move this out of the way. But I'm keen to actually make some pesto. So I'm going to look for chunky basil pesto dip. So straight in there, my Smart Connected Kitchen, straight into my basil pesto. Start cooking. Oh, forgot the cheese. All right, so as I said, just literally got home from work and I'm cooking. So here we go, 50 grams of Parmesan. So it's great. What's great about this is I can use fresh Parmesan. Oops, take the lid off. Whenever you take the lid off, you need to make sure you tear it so you go back to 0. 45, not bad. Guessing it's pretty good tonight. Okay, 1 garlic clove. I have done that bit. That's going in. Okay, lid on. 10 seconds, speed 9. Ask me to break down the side of the bowl. I'll show you what this looks like. So there you go. Freshly grated Parmesan, no additives and preservatives, no anti-caking agent either, no fillers. Break that down, get that off the lid as well. going to go back to this one, keep this going. 400 grams of can of chopped tomatoes. Now, I always love to just test the supermarkets or the products. We've got 0 there. I've got my can of tomatoes. Just get something to scrape it out, give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt if it's closer to 400. This dish, by the way, is absolutely delicious. I just saw it one time and just thought, oh, I must try it. And it's a favourite. It really is. Getting there, 95. Probably is about 400 by the time scrape everything out. Okay, just under. Not too bad though. 150 to 180 grams of fennel. So I have just trimmed this and chopped it up, popping that in. That was actually half a fennel bulb. Okay, next, 1 teaspoon of sugar. Okay, I've got some, it's not white sugar, it's just raw sugar going in. 1 to 2 teaspoons of vegetable stock paste. So with your vegetable stock paste, which is what we normally make at delivery of a Thermomix, the great thing about it is you can just use it instead of salt in your meals, but it obviously got a little bit more flavour in it. I think I will just do 2. It's always different colours, so it can be greener, it can be oranger. This had a bit of beetroot in it, so I just use up everything that needs to be used up in the fridge. All right, black pepper, we've done that already, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, now I'm going to pop the lid on and I'm going to put the variegator in. And what I've actually done is I have cut up some fish. It's 4 fish fillets, firm white fillets, and they've actually got skin on. But last time I did it with skin on because I can't be bothered to take the skin off. This is, my husband went shopping today and this is what he came back with. The skin, you wouldn't, I just ate it and it was just delicious. I'm not big on skin, but in this recipe, you can't even taste it. I'm just bringing it forward so it doesn't steam on up underneath the cupboard there. All right, season with salt and pepper. So I'm just going to put that over the top. There we go. Okay, on again, secure the varoma lid. 12 minutes. It's going to go to varoma temperature and it's on speed 2 and it's on reverse, so it's not going to chop anymore. It's just going to stir. All right, we'll let that one get on with its thing over there. And coming back to this pesto over here. All right, so I've scraped down the sides. Now I need 40 grams of fresh basil leaves. And as I said, I've just come from work and I haven't had time to prepare this. So, but I thought I'd be a bit bored hanging around for 12 minutes without anything else happening. So I just did put an elastic band on this. I'm not very good at growing basil. Just to try and keep it a little bit better. I'm going to pop some leaves in. Taking it off the big stems because the Thermomix doesn't really like the big tough stems. So I'm taking those off. It'll be a bit fresher, but anyway, it'll be all right. And you know what, once it's in here, it's fine. It's all going to be chopped up anyway. So I'm not going to have 40 grams, I can see. Okay, put in the leaf. All right, so what have I got? 20 grams. All right, let's just see what it says. 20 grams of fresh cut parsley. So I'm going to add more parsley. I think I've got more parsley. it really doesn't matter with pesto. You can use any leaves. So again, you don't want the really big stems, but I'm just literally wrestling it off here and popping it in there and making a bit of a mess on the floor whilst I'm filming. All right. So that'll do. That makes up for it, but just the other way around. Now I've got some more cashews. Again, I got these from the source. They're in an old Aldi container, but they are from the source. So again, I took my container and all and just filled it up. Again, with pesto, you can use most nuts, all right? So it does talk about pine nuts in some pestos, but you don't have to use them because they're quite expensive. All right, 60 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Get olive oil. Running out here. There we go. Okay. 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar. A little bit of white wine vinegar here. Oh, white wine vinegar. No, that's not white wine vinegar. Don't have any of that. I'm going to put a little bit of red wine vinegar in. Put it back on again. Oops. So now it's gone to turbo and it's asking me to turn the speed selector 4 to 5 times. So you can see that this one is large. And all I'm going to do is go. I'm going to click next because it will not release until I have done that. I reckon that looks pretty good. So there we go. There's my basil pesto. That's the chunky basil pesto dip. Smells amazing. And we use this in everything. We put it in scrambled eggs this morning for breakfast. You can obviously put it through chicken, pasta, all sorts of things. It's just a really good thing to have in the fridge. So we make this quite a lot and use it in many different applications. All right, I'm just going to put that into something. Maybe I won't. I can't see the right thing to put it into. All right, that is that. Now the other thing, because we've still got 7 minutes to go on the other, I'm going to finish that. I'm going to come back in here to my week. I'm just going to have a bit of a look at another recipe that I'm really keen on doing, except I can't finish it off because I haven't got the, haven't sorted my chicken out to mince. I'll have a good try it. Put a plate on the mixing bowl lid. I'm not going to worry about that. So these are delish pesto nuggets. So I could use the pesto that I have just made, but there is another one which uses spinach leaves. Now my spinach leaves are in plastic because I couldn't actually, they didn't have any loose ones. And the thing with the plastic is I can recycle that, recycle at the supermarket. But otherwise I try and get it into a sustainable bag, bring it back and put it in an old plastic bag so it stays nice and fresh. Right, so basically what this is asking me to do, I'm going to get another bowl. Okay, bowl number 3 coming up. It's asking me to waste some breadcrumbs because they are little chicken nuggets when they're finished. And so you're going to coat them in the gluten-free rice crumbs. Set the plate aside. Okay, so 1 garlic clove. I've got 2 little bits here I can chop. There we go. Just do these. Said very spontaneous. Just to show you a couple of things. I just think it's worthwhile just showing whatever I'm making in the kitchen, just film it. share it with you guys. So it does say one, but these are two very small ones. So I'm actually going to have a look and see if it tells me where this recipe is from. So I'm clicking onto these three dots. I'm not sure if it does on here, but we'll have a look. No, it doesn't. But just trying to see. No, that's not going to help me. All right, continue. Got my garlic clove in there. 80 grams of pine nuts. As I said, don't have pine nuts, so we are going for some more of these cashews. Actually, I might have a few pine nuts, but I do majority of those. I'll just have a quick look up here. Have any pine nuts at all. Right, I don't have any. So I need to put in another 30 grams. 60 grams of fresh baby spinach. That in. So we might be having pesto and scrambled eggs with spinach tomorrow morning. Oh, 68 grams. 20 grams of olive oil. This is going to be a test. Yeah, I've got it. Some salt. It's got some pink Himalayan salt. And there. Lid on. 10 seconds, speed 5. You can hear that, but that's you can use your ears to cook with. So that was actually chopped. It was just going where the blades were just going around. Okay, so let's have a look at this. What's next? Oops. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Add 500 grams of chicken mince. Don't have the chicken mince. So I will have to do that later, but I'll just explain what you actually do. We'll just have a look through the recipe so you can see how it finishes off. So it's chicken mince, and what you can do with chicken mince with your Thermomix is you can chop it up, chop the chicken in up into pieces. You can freeze it for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Pop it into your bowl, 7 seconds, speed 7, and you have mince. No additives and preservatives, no extra water, none of that sort of stuff. So sorry I didn't have that bit ready. It was sort of going to be too frozen if I did it before I went to work. As I said, it was a little bit spontaneous. However, that's how you would do your chicken mince. Just look through the rest of the recipe. So it's asking you to put your chicken mince in, add some vegetable stock, so that's your salt, add a little bit of coconut cream. Put the lid on. Basically, it's on reverse, 10 seconds, speed 3, mixing everything up. And then you're going to make little patties. You're going to cover them with breadcrumbs, make them into any sort of shape you like. So you can make small nuggets, big nuggets, whatever you want to do. And then you can repeat until all the mince mixture is coated and shaped into nuggets, approximately 30 nuggets. Press in, you can either fry it over a medium-low heat. And one of the girls did this on the weekend and cooked it in coconut oil, and they looked absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful. I might better find a photo actually. See if I can find the photo for you because it was incredible. Looked really good. No, that's not it. That's something I did. There we go. Look at that. That's what they look like. So they look seriously delicious. And just whilst we're here and we're waiting for this to keep going, I made these on the weekend, and they are prosciutto and sun-dried tomato muffins, and I've been having them for lunch. But I'm sort of thinking, well, I've had them for lunch 2 days in a row, just one of them with some of this soup, and that's the Thai green broccoli and spinach soup, which also is delicious. So I thought actually nuggets with a bit of salad would be nice for the next couple of lunches. All right, up couple of minutes to go on. Oh, I haven't shown you this pesto. So this pesto, there's less of it. It's probably a little bit chunkier than it would have been if it had the pine nuts in it, but okay. I'm good with that. Not as if I'm feeding kids, adults. All right. So we'll just wait for this. It's just cooling down. It's stopped bubbling. It's a new setting on the TM6 that it adjusts it. So remove Varoma and transfer fish to, I can't believe how much stuff I've got in here. As I said, very spontaneous. So whenever you take the lid off the Varoma, you always tilt it away from you. Bring it down. Let's have a little look at this fish. I don't think all of it's cooked. So I actually think that fish needs a little bit longer. So I'm not going to take it off. Okay, so it's saying transferred. No. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to steam it for a little bit longer up here, because after that it's wanting me to add prawns to the bowl and put this into a thermosaver. So I'm just going to put that. So this is the great thing. You can adjust things. So I'm going to go from 12 minutes. I'm going to adjust this down because we don't need another 12 minutes. I'm just actually going to go 4 minutes and we'll have a look at it then. Back on here, speed 2. Doesn't matter if everything that's underneath gets cooked a little bit longer. That's all fine. All right. I've got to entertain you for another 4 minutes. All right. What else have I got on here? What else have I made? I've had those nuggets. Oh, this was amazing. This is a pull apart. That's a pandan pull apart. Pandan flavouring in the dough. That's made by Boone, who comes from Singapore, with coconut and sugar as the filling. These were some little pizza pockets too. So this was all about lunchbox things. Oh, and that was that's a chocolate sweet potato slice, or brownie actually, which is really good. And you don't actually taste, well, you can't taste that it's sweet potato. In fact, I gave some to somebody and she took them home and she said her kids don't like sweet potato and they woofed it up. So that's good. Oh, no, that's something else. A couple of other things I made. So, yeah, so that's what we've been busy doing. Actually don't think we're going to be able to wait until this is all finished. I'm running out of things to say, believe it or not. Yes, I know what I'll do. I'll give you a little tour of the TM6. So we're going to get out of here. So with our TM6 Smart Connected Kitchen, it's connected to Wi-Fi. I can cook manually on here. So I've got time, I've got temperature, I've got speed. Whichever one of these large dials, whichever one of the dials is large, is then controlled with this. So I can turn my time up there. My temperature goes all the way up to 120 on a thermostat. So just like your heating, whatever temperature you set it at, it will go up to that temperature and click off. If you want to steam, like we're steaming in the other one here, you can see it's on Varoma temperature, and that's what we need for steaming. All right. With this dial, this is our speed dial. This little symbol means that the blades are going forwards and they're going to chop. This little symbol means the blades are going on reverse and they're going to stir. So think about a risotto. You need to chop your onion, but once your rice is in, you don't want it chopped up, so it's going to go on to stir. All right, look this way. And we have all these other functions. So we've got our scales. They are 1 gram increments. So I can put something on there. I can tear and I can add other things. All right, really simple, no maths required. And it just means that they're the only sort of scales I actually have in the kitchen. We've got dough mode, which is for kneading. So when you're making pizza dough or bread, 2 minutes of kneading in the Thermomix is the same as 25 minutes of kneading by hand. Turbo, you saw that happening just before. We did some chopping, but it's also useful for cleaning your blades if you've got a dip or something and you want to get everything off there. Got a pre-clean function, and this is amazing. It's got 4 settings. It's got dough setting, universal, it's got dough, universal, fat or caramel or browning, and depending on what you've cooked in your Thermomix, you put it onto those different settings, and it does a pre-clean for you. So all you got to do is pretty much rinse it out. You've got an automate blend. Got the egg boiler, and this is pretty cool. With all these modes, there's information up here. So you can read about what to do, but basically you put a maximum of 1 litre of cold water in here, up to 6 eggs, and then you decide how you want them cooked. So they could be soft, medium, medium hard, or hard-boiled eggs. And you just walk away and it will do it for you. This one's cooling down again. I can hear because it stopped bubbling. So I'll just wait a couple of seconds for that, and then I've actually got to put the fish in something else. So remove the varoma with the fish. So again, I'm tilting it away from me. I'm pulling this down, and it's just one piece there that looks a little bit, could need a little bit more. So I might actually put that in the bowl with the prawns. So I'm going to take the base of the varoma off, get rid of that. And I've got a really lovely sauce happening in here. I'll show you. Here we go. And I'm going to add 200 grams of prawns. So I defrosted these earlier. Popping those in, and I'm just going to grab some tongs. And I'm just going to pick out a couple of bits of fish. Oh, hang on, actually, I think it's all right. Seems to be falling apart, so I'm taking that as cooked, so I don't need to worry about that. Next, pop my lid on, which I've lost. There it is. Pop my lid on, pop my measuring cup on. Sorry, you can't see that. 2 minutes, 100 degrees, speed stir. So it just means that those prawns are going to stay nice and intact. And whilst it's doing that, I'm going to put this into the thermoserver. So the thermoserver is just something that will keep your food warm for up to 2 hours. So I'm going to pop my fish in. Yeah, see, it's all very well cooked. It's going to fall apart in there, and that skin will be very edible. So that's all right, because it's a fish stew, so it's sort of meant to be, it's not, I mean, you know, it's still, whoops, I really threw fish at you then. It's still chunky. I'll show you afterwards. I've got it all in there. There's a few bits that are been a bit flaked, but most of it is really pretty chunky. All right, oops, put those bits in. So there we go, there's our fish. I'm going to put the lid on there to keep it warm. We've got a minute to go on the other. So whilst that's going, I will come back over here and finish telling you a little bit about these other functions. Got a kettle mode. I've used that a couple of times. Warm up, I haven't used. Now thicken is for things like sauces, custards, bechamel sauces, hollandaise sauces. Rice cooker is self-evident. And we've got another screen. And there's space on this other screen. And that's because there'll be more things coming, excuse me. Fermentation mode, that's for making your own yogurt. Slow cooking and sous vide. So the slow cooking, you need to have a thing called a blade cover in there to slow cook. Oh no. Blade cover, that covers the blades, which means that your meat, when it gets nice and soft, doesn't get shredded. Sous vide is also, the blade cover is also good for that, for volume. So sous vide is cooking under a vacuum. All right. We are done here, pretty much. Drain any excess moisture from the reserve fish, so I will quickly do that, just check that. Yeah, there is a little bit, so I'm just tipping it over the sink. Okay. All right, I'm going to pop that back in there, in front of you here. Next, transfer the prawns and the sauce into the bowl with the fish. So we've got our prawns and beautiful rich red sauce. I'll find a spatula. Okay. Which is going to go in there, make a beautiful, like a seafood casserole, if you like. They actually call it just Mediterranean seafood with tomato and fennel. So just going to scrape that out. So the best way to get everything out is to push it down to the bottom of the bowl and go in a clockwise direction. Then you're hitting the rounded side of the blades rather than the sharp side of the blades with your spatula. Okay, that's that. And I'm going to just give it a bit of a mix in there. And there's only 2 of us, so this is dinner for 2 nights. And it suggests that you actually put a few little bits of fennel on top to make it look pretty. And I'll show you what it looks like. There we go. So I do have a YouTube channel. Just go Mandy Powers Thermomix. Plenty of things up there to have a look at. And obviously, feel free to interact with me. Thank you. Pop the lid on that to keep it warm. Enjoy the rest of your evening.